Well, this is the 50th edition of the Memorial presented by Workday, a tournament that Jack Nicklaus wanted to bring back to the area he grew up. High-class tournament with a high-class field. Now, each year, the Memorial recognizes a person who has contributed greatly to the game of golf with the Memorial Honoree. This year's recipient is Jack's wife, Barbara Nicklaus, named as the First Lady of Golf, and someone Jack calls the most selfless person he's ever known.
Well, a special person to me. It's a, and so you understand how that came about. My son Gary came to me, I don't know, a couple months before the tournament, and he said, Dad, have you ever thought about honoring Mom? I said, no, really hadn't entered my mind, Gary. I said, but you're absolutely right. He says, she's been as much a part of this tournament as I have. From day one, she's been the guiding light for good common sense and good judgment, and the tour wives have all been looked up to Barbara and where she's gone and what she's done, and the people that have come into this tournament, many have come here because of Barbara. I said, so I called Joe Dye. Joe Dye. No, I didn't call Joe Dye. Couldn't call him. I called Charlie Meacham. And I told Charlie, and I said, Charlie, it's been suggested. And he says, what do you think? He says, God, I hadn't thought about that either, but he says, you're absolutely right. And so he called me back the next day. He says, I canvassed the Captain's Club. He says, boy, unanimous. And I said, so when I got I had the honor to be able to announce that on television, I couldn't get it out. But Barbara's meant obviously to the tournament, what she obviously meant to me and our family, and it's a very, 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 very special year.
The honoree ceremony will take place on Wednesday, and then, of course, Thursday. It's round one of this signature event. 8 of the top 10 in the world will be competing here at Muirfield Village, but one name that is missing, pretty powerful name, Masters champion Rory McIlroy, who will not play in the Memorial for the first time since 2017. Now, Nicklaus has a good relationship with Rory McIlroy, but he said he has not had a conversation on why Rory is skipping this tournament.
Hey, Jack, two separate things. First, just to clarify, were you not aware until basically the rest of us that Rory wasn't coming?
I was sort of aware of it about the middle of last week.
And so it sort of surprises you, I guess, that he's not?
Yeah, it surprised me. But, guys have got schedules and got things they do. And, I haven't talked to him for him to tell me why or why not. That's just his call. I made a lot of calls that I had to make when I played to play or not play. And sometimes it wasn't as popular as people thought it was, but sometimes you have to make those calls. I don't hold anything against Rory for that. He does what he likes to play. I know he likes to play so many in a row. He likes to play the week before a U.S. Open, and so that's what he's doing. So, I really don't have a comment on it. It's very difficult, very difficult. I mean, I'm a big Rory fan, always have been, and I'm sure that will remain that way. I was a little surprised, yes.
Well, for those in the field, they will face yet another tough golf course set up by Jack Nicklaus. Talking to some players who have played Muirfield Village already, they said the greens are fast and firm, and the rough is a uniformed 4 inches and very, very dense. And with this rain falling here on Tuesday, well, that rough is likely to grow even higher.